Trades here, and this is my 6-year review and comparison test of fluid film. I've been using fluid film on this car for the past 6 winters, and each year I've done a comparison test, and so I have 6 years of results to see what it looks like after each year, after each winter going through with having fluid film apply, and show how good fluid film works. It's a very good product, and it covers up all the spots on the underside of your car to stop them from rusting as quickly. I'm going to show you what my car looks like and how it's done over the past 6 winters, and it had 0 rust on it before. It was a Florida car. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how well my car has held up compared to other cars of a similar age. And just to tell you up front, my wife's car has only had like 4 winters or 5 winters, and this one's had 6 winters, and mine looks miles better than hers on the underside. The rust is insane on a 4 or 5-year-old car compared to one that you use fluid film on. It makes a huge difference. Now, I don't want you to think this is some miracle product that stops all rust and doesn't allow any rust to happen, because that really isn't a thing. No matter what, if you drive your car somewhere where they salt the roads, it's going to rust. But using fluid film really slows it down, and it's going to allow you to get a lot more years out of your vehicle in the long run. It's really going to be around double or more the length of the life of your vehicle. And so it's a really low investment, and it's a really easy process to do to save a lot of costly repairs down the road, because rust repair is not cheap, and rust holes in your vehicle are very unsightly, and they're really hard to really fix. And don't forget, if you want to purchase either of these, check out the link in the description to purchase them. As you can see, my vehicle has all this gunk all over it. I did quite a few comparison tests this winter. I put some fluid film black, and some surface shield on the car to test out how they compare to each other. So that's why it's all covered in junk here. And I'd like to do these tests to kind of show you guys how the products work and what I think of the different products. Fluid film, what it is it's a lanolin-based material that you spray all over the underside of the vehicle to help keep a barrier between the metal of your vehicle and the salt and the water from the roads that cause rust. And the best thing about fluid film is it does not harden. If a coating hardens on the bottom of your car, what happens is over time it gets rock chips, and the water can actually get underneath the coatings, and the coatings will hold on the water and the salt on the frame of the vehicle, causing it to rust out faster. And that's for coatings that harden, or waxy ones that will harden up and they don't remain fluid. And that's why fluid film is so good. It's because it remains wet on the vehicle. And so if you get a rock chip, the fluid film will actually creep over and cover up the rock chip again to make sure that your car is protected from the elements. So this is really good stuff, and I honestly recommend any wet-based undercoating. All of them are very good. I just really like fluid film. It's got a really great price point. It's really easy to apply yourself, and it's one of the more well-known products out there. So you might ask yourself, what are the downsides to fluid film? And the first downside is that it's a little stinky. I don't really mind the smell. It usually goes away after about 48 hours, and sometimes when it's really warm out, it might come out a little bit again. It kind of smells like an adhesive, almost like an old camper, if you had to put a scent to it. I don't really mind the smell. Some people really don't like it. It is said to wash away much quicker than some of the other undercoatings, especially the ones that harden up or set really well. And I've noticed that if you get lanolin wet right away after applying it, it is much more likely to wash away. If you let it set though, like a week or so before getting exposed to water or wet roads, that is the best way to keep it staying on the car. Also, you don't want to put your car through a car wash after you've applied fluid film, because a car wash is just going to remove your coatings, leaving your car open to rust in the future. So don't wash your car as long as you stick away from the undercarriage blast when they spray water up on the underside. If you just do the sides and the top, that's no problem, but don't blast the underside after you've applied fluid film. Other than that, there really aren't any downsides, and they definitely are not that big of a deal when you look at what it's saving you. So here's what the car looks like after my 6th winter driving it. The fluid film is still on the car. I'm going to send it through the car wash to hopefully get some of it off. I really don't think the car wash is going to take very much off at all, even with the undercarriage blast. This stuff is just really sticky, especially when it's been on here for a full winter. And so we'll take a look here after I wash the car, and once it's much drier, because it's a little easier to see where it is and where it's been removed when the car is dry. When it gets wet, it gets a little tricky to tell the difference. So we'll run this thing through the car wash and see what we see. So after going through the car wash, the fluid film held up really well. It really doesn't look like the car wash brushes really took anything off of it. And I'm surprised because a lot of people say that fluid film washes off pretty easily. But if you let it cure before you go in the water or drive on really wet roads, if it cures and has a chance to fully set in, it is extremely durable and extremely sticky stuff. And it's not like you can spray it off with a hose, because you can't do that. So overall, fluid film is just a really awesome product. I can't recommend it enough. It's amazing how people will do things like ceramic coat their car. They'll wax it every couple weeks. They'll go through the car wash all the time, and that protects the paint, and that's a great thing to do. But if you plan on keeping your car a long time, what's going to kill it is the rust eating it from the underside if you live somewhere that's rusty, where they use salt on the roads. It doesn't matter what you put on it. You can put the best ceramic coating, but if it's going to rust through from the underside and have rust holes showing through your paint, then what good is ceramic coating your car, taking it through the car wash, if it's going to have just massive holes in it and need to be scrapped out anyways? So if you care about your car, you should consider using fluid film, especially if you're somewhere. And don't forget, if you want to purchase either of these, check out the link in the description to purchase them.